Masechet Zevahim Daf Kov Zayin, starting from Kov Vav Mubet, 11 lines from the bottom. We were going back and forth regarding Abaye and Rava. We're going to continue in that vein. Amar Rava says, "Ikashli hakashli." If I have a problem about whether or not you could learn a lo ta'aseh from a kava homer, I have this problem. How the time Mishnah says Pesach or Milah mitzvot ta'aseh. Quran Pesach and Chayuv of doing Brit Milah are only positive commandments. Tete b'kavach mutir, but let there be a lo ta'aseh, a negative commandment. Learn from a kav that if you don't do it, you get a lo ta'aseh from the following kavach from a person who leaves over meat. Mamo tir shlo anash yazir. In a case where someone does not leave over meat, this Torah still warned him. Pesach, so for a case where a person is over on Pesach and Milah, where he does get a punishment. So for sure, there's a warning. I mentioned this. And he told me, you can't bring a proof from leftover meat. Because you can ask because there's no such thing as rectifying it once it's fixed. Tomorrow Pesach, regarding Pesach, there is a way to fix it because you can have Pesach Sheni. Where it says, one second, how can you make a kav chomer to make you a warning? You can't make a kav chomer to initiate a lo ta'aseh. I feel even according to the opinion, it's machlok whether you can, but even according to the opinion that says that you're able to make a kav chomer to um, from a punishment from a kav chomer. Now you can use kav chomer to teach that A is chayav because of B for sure. In Mazimudin, he still agrees that you can't learn a lot hasef from a kav chomer. So how can he say this? The Gemara says, "Elak nira mas pitay Yochanan, Amar Yochanan natia ha'aba gzer shava atia, ha'ba sorry, malalan lo nash ela im kinizir." There's like over there, a person's that chayav unless he brought up the korban outside unless he's warned. Avkan lo nash ela gzer so as well regarding a negative commandment. The Gemara says it in proof. Kiriyana kundriyana damar riyana atia sham sham gzer shara word sham. Malalan lo nash ela im kinizir, just like over there. There's no punishment unless he did a negative commandment. The Gemara says, we basically got a proof that someone's hayav for a korban that's eligible to be burned within, and he did it outside. What if a person is meant to be burnt outside, meaning a korban that's slaughtered outside? And you offer it outside. I mean, I know that even that you're chayav. Amar Kana, Makra Pasuk says that alehem tomar, you should tell them, which means ala simuchin tomar, those who are nearby, the halachot nearby, you should mention, which is these halachot. Maskita fa'ava, tiba alehem doesn't mean alehem. Alehem means on them. It says elehem, to them. Alehem chtiv. Different answer. Elak the time the Reish like he says, "Alehem tomar le'arei parshiyot." When it says the alehem, you should combine the pesukim teaching you, just like the pasuk of offering the korban outside and slaughtering it outside. So to her as well, if you offer it outside, you're chayav. Okay, even korban slaughtered outside. Yochanan Ati hava'a ba'ag there sharpening hava'a. Malan mutei over there, we're slaughtering outside. It's also referring to korban outside. Avkam mutei chus as well. Let's give it a bibi 1 second. Last two answers we don't like. There are 36 different averot yachayav for karet. Platin v'shayam. According to this halacha, now we have a 37th. The ikal amalid because seeing the a person who ordered the korban that was slaughtered inside the mizbeah and ben also one outside. Total 37. Why only 36? The Gemara says kasha. It's a good question. The Mishnah says, someone throws part of the blood out on the bech outside the ben chayav. How you know this? It says, Nafkalim intending the following, Demi Hashem, Asusi shall consider it blood, Lerabot Zurek to include the person who throws the blood outside, Yachiab Karet. The other Ishmael Rabbi Kiva American says, O Zavah. The word, the part of the says, or a korban, or a korban. Lerabot Zurek to include the person who throws the blood is Hayab. Where I says, okay, fine. Rabbi Ishmael Hayat Ozavach Ma'avid. What does he do with the other opinions, Pasuk of Ozavach? Lehalak teaches a separate Isurim of for Allah and Shlamim. Rabbi Akiva, Lehalak Nayaz, Rabbi Akiva know that they separate in the Isurim. The Gemara says, "Nafkilem lo tavi yevi enu." Okay, very strong. What did that do with that pasuk? How by that is it? Ashalem hu chayav. You only chayav for offering complete item. But you don't have a say you can't offer. You're not chayav if you offer an incomplete item, like if it's missing a part of the limb. Rabbi Akiva nafkilem milaf stoto. Rabbi Akiva learns it from you shall do it, all of it. Rabbi Shmuel, where does Rabbi Shmuel do that pasuk? Had the muktere panim. First, he used one to teach you that the korban has to be burnt inside. That if it became, if you lost part of it and then it went outside, or for a korban meant to be outside, and you became clean from outside, they are both disqualified. By the time it says Rishman holds Yachol, you might think Mutter Panim Shahasru. If a Quran meant to be inside and became incomplete, Behela Hosni Bird Asar Head, I think you have. The Mother says last of it Allah Shlim only for complete. Any Hasan not over here because it's incomplete. Rebecca according to Mutter Panim. In the case of a Quran meant they were inside Shahasru, by Allah Mahut, they became not complete. And you brought it outside, Hayab Yahav. Rabbi Akiva, Mahai Damya Hashem Ma'avle, if that's the case, what does he do with Pasuk of Damya Hashem? Rishmal, you to teach you that throwing the blood outside is Hayav. The Rabbi Shahid teaches you that even by slaughtering of a bird, you're Hayav. When I say Rishmal Nafki Leme, O Asher Yishahat, Rishmal learns that Hayub from a different Pasuk. Rabbi Akiva Malach, Rabbi Akiva said, no, that Pasuk teaches you how we by Allah Shochet Hu Hayav, you're not Hayav for slaughtering the bird outside, without Malek, but not Malika outside. Because Malika outside is kind of nothing. Okay. Rabbi Shmuel Nafki Leme is a Hadavar, Rabbi Shmuel ends up in this Pasuk. The end verse says, Asher Yishchat, Pasuk, you should slaughter an animal. Any Leshahad, but I only know if slaughtering an animal. Shahad of Hain if you slaughter a bird, Yinayin Chayav, Atamor, O Asher Yishchat, Yachal from Look, now you might think even Malika, but you know, logically, Mashkita, the Enderecha Shahadavrim, Shehidat, technically for a bird, did not usually done inside of the Mudash. Hayav, you're still Hayav. Milika, so Milika Shtira Shahadavrim, therefore, if you're doing Milika, which is usually inside Hayav, and then Hayav, so sure Hayav outside. The Pasuk is Zadavar, excluded. Rabbi Akiva, Malach, Rabbi Akiva learned something else. And we by the Zer Shvar need to Pasuk for Zer Shvar, teach you, of Hatran and Dream. Something else. Hatran, Mishan says, Hakum Metzvah Mekavel, the mean Bahus Patur. Someone who does make Kimitza, Kuba Mencha, or receives the blood of a Kuban outside, is Patur. Milan, I knows, Umeach Hatet the Hayav. He sounds like, why would you think Hayav? Or it says, Titim Shita, because you think that's from just like slaughtering. Malish, just like slaughtering chicken, it's slaughtering makes it Pesach. If it's slaughtered for someone who can't eat it, it's pasul. So for sure, kimitza also the Gemara says but then you should bring a proof from throwing the blood outside. Just like if a non-coin throws blood, it's hayav. So we see over there it's more stricter. Where it says to them, okay, fine, so let's learn a common denominator between them. But we can't do that. And we can't because that's the case. You should just skip it. But I should not have mentioned throwing the blood case. You could learn sorry, you could just learn it from the common denominator of slaughtering and offering. Okay, so let's learn the Yechia for throwing blood outside from the pasuk of slaughtering outside. Just like slaughtering. But then the problem is you can't because why? Because slaughtering outside for someone, if you slaughter Korban Pesach for someone who's not eligible for the Korban Pesach, it makes it ineligible for everybody. So throwing blood also should be at the problem. Says me Allah, they bring a proof from Allah, throwing offering korban outside the wrong place. But the problem is that you can't bring a comparison from mincha because it's stricter by mincha because the mincha is only limited to an animal as well. But the avodah throwing is only by animal. There's no such thing as throwing by mincha because it's only flour, there's no blood. These the common denominator between them both. Each of them has their own strict thing. But look, the Gemara says. The secret is why says you can't learn between them. Therefore, doing kimitza or receiving blood outside cannot be learned from either of them. Say someone slaughtered a korban outside and then threw the blood. According to Shmuel, chayav one chatat. The Rebbe Akiva chayav shtei chatat. Chayav shtayim chayav twice. According to Rebbe Akiva. Why? Because Rishon said they learn karet from the pasuk of dam shafach, and therefore consider one karet. Rebbe Akiva learned two different pasukim, therefore two different nisurim. Bayamar says, "Ahil the Rebbe Akiva, according to Rebbe Akiva, and no chayav alachat, and chayav one chatat." That Makra pasuk says, "Sham ta'aseh." You shall do over there. Akiva said, "Tu dan avodah achat." Torah equates all into one. Zerak ve'ala. Therefore, if someone threw blood and then you offer a korban outside, the Rebbe Shmuel chayav shleim chayav two. The Rebbe Akiva and chayav achat according to Rebbe Akiva only one. Because the pasuk specifically split it up. Sham ta'ale, v'sham ta'aseh, two different isurim, two different chataot. The says shahad v'zarak v'hala'av, someone slaughtered through blood and offered it up. Everybody agree. Chayav shtayim and chayav two.